Let us now quickly look at how can we motivate children in the classroom. As we discussed, every learner is different, every child is different. Therefore, we have to understand what specifically motivates that particular learner or that particular child. Only then we will be able to customize the teaching learning process and meet the requirements of that learner or that child. Next, motivation is a continuous process. As we discussed, motivation has activation, intensity, and persistence. If there is no persistence, that is, if there is no continuous motivation, then the person will start working towards a goal, then quickly lose interest, then again you have to motivate the person, then again he will work for some time. So which means that we have to ensure that the motivation is consistent and persistent and continuous. Next, we have to understand the learner's personality type. That is, some learners may be leaders, some learners may prefer to be followers. So we have to understand what is the personality type of each of the children or the learners in your classroom. Only then you'll be able to make sure that the activities and the teaching learning process is customized for their specific requirement. Next, just by motivating children and just by telling them that they need to be successful, we cannot make them successful. We have to teach them the skills necessary to be successful. For example, if you want a child to be successful in the mathematics class, we have to ensure that the child's basic mathematics skills are strong. Therefore, we have to teach the required skills, we have to give them the required tools so that they can be successful. Next, set shared goals and expectation. Here, the focus is on the word shared, because if you tell the child what is your goal and what is your expectation and what is it that the child should be doing, then that becomes a autocracy or like a dictatorship. And that is not the right way to teach children. So if you set shared goals, that is, if you discuss with the child and the child or the learner also takes ownership of the goals and the expectations, then they will work more enthusiastically towards them. Therefore, set shared goals and expectations. And give a sense of autonomy. If people have a sense of autonomy, a sense of freedom, and if they feel that they are also part of the decision-making process, right? If they feel that they are in a democracy, then that is the best way to learn. So give learners a sense of autonomy and provide consistent feedback and coaching. Especially younger learners, if they are making any mistakes, then unless you provide immediate feedback, consistent feedback and coaching, their mistakes will become a habit. So provide immediate feedback, consistent feedback and coaching, especially for younger learners. Praise and admiration are big motivators. You would have seen that if you praise young children in the classroom, they become very happy, they feel very proud, and they work even more harder. Therefore, use praise and admiration liberally in the classroom. And connect the theory with real life. If you are teaching children something that they cannot feel, see, look or touch in real life, which they cannot experience in their day-to-day life, then you are teaching them something that doesn't make sense. So make sure that any teaching that is happening in the classroom is contextual and meaningful. For example, instead of teaching about exotic fruits like a dragon fruit in the classroom, teach them about the fruits that they can see and experience and taste in their daily life. It might be bananas, it might be apples. So make sure that the theory is connected with the real life. And then allow learners the freedom to make mistakes. In one of the previous videos, we discussed that mistakes and errors are part of the learning process. Therefore, allow learners the freedom to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And they should not be punished for errors. Right? The cause of the error should be understood and the corrective action or the preventive action should be taken. But learners should be allowed to make mistakes. Next, keep the learners challenged and engaged. In your class, you will have children or learners with different kind of abilities, different kind of learning speeds. So you have to make sure that you keep all the children challenged and engaged throughout the teaching learning process. So this is how we can motivate children in the classroom. These are all very simple statements and based on common sense. I would recommend you should pause the video here and go through all these statements at least once more.